Hello there.
Hey guys, Josh Lloyd here, looking at your what to watch for Friday in the NBA. Let's talk about these games. Yeah, pretty much straight away. No mucking around here. First game we take a look at is the Suns and the Pistons. Devin Booker has been in somewhat of a slump this year, so I want to see how much ball handling he's doing and why. Why is he in so much of a slump? What's going on with him? Is it just a sharing of responsibilities with Chris Paul? I also want to check Jay Crowder. Can he string a couple of strong games together in a row? It's probably unlikely, but there is that possibility for Crowder and making him maybe a fringe 12-team pickup. For the Pistons, Josh Jackson probably is going to return. What does that mean for Delon Wright, who started at point guard last time out, but Derrick Rose, is he going to play? He's also questionable. So how much is Delon going to play? What's his usage going to be like? Can he shoot better than 1 of 8, which he did last game? And then Mason Plumlee. The minutes have been tumbling for Plumlee. We've been seeing it really drop off. Isaiah Stewart cutting into that playing time, going small at times as well. His minutes continually trending down. Will he push back up to 30? Weird to see what's happening with him at the moment, but I just want to check on those minutes. Next up, the Thunder and the Knicks. Al Horford's been struggling of late. Can't really get the shots to fall, and that's obviously a problem. So we want to see the minutes that he's playing. Can't really get to 30, and the shots aren't falling, which is not great. I also want to check on Darius Bazley, who's been playing awesome. So just paying some attention to Bazley and the form that he's in. For the Knicks, Taj Gibson was signed. Is he going to play? Will he play over Nerlens Noel? What does that mean for Mitch Robinson? That's going to be a key focus. And then the Alfred Payton, Emmanuel quickly. And I could also throw Austin Rivers into that mix. How those minutes get distributed. It was 40-plus minutes for Payton last game, 30-plus for Rivers. 5+ for quickly. Let's see how that goes. And if we're going to have Burks, Payton, Rivers, Bullock in the rotation, this is Tom Thibodeau, so the rookie is probably going to be on the outside looking in. So let's see how that all looks in this one. Next up is the Hornets and the Pelicans. PJ Washington. The shooting has been rough for Washington. So let's have a look to see how he goes. Can he maintain the defensive stats at all? And then Devontae Graham. He's hitting like 15 or 16% of his two-pointers. He's been absolute trash. He is going to get better, but I think he's going to lose his job eventually to Ball. It should happen really soon. But at some point, those twos have to start going in. For the Pelicans, Eric Bledsoe's minutes are key. If they're 31, then he's strong. If he's playing 25, then he's not a 12-team league player. He was at 31 for 2 straight games and then dropped back to 25 last game. Let's see how that flow looks. And then conversely to that, if Redick is out, what does that mean for Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Does Alexander-Walker cut into any of Bledsoe's time? He looked pretty good last game, Alexander-Walker, so that's one for us to keep somewhat of an eye on. The Wizards and the Celtics, Denny Avdia has been playing the Isaac Bonga role, starting and playing 16 minutes. I think he's a drop in all 12-team formats and probably 14-teamers, but let's just really pay attention to see how much Scott Brooks uses him here in this one. And then Westbrook's free throw percentage, which is continuing to be a real pain in the ass. How is he going to shoot from the free throw line? That's really important. For the Celtics, the Tyson Thompson scenario, will they play together? Who's going to play more? Is Thompson going to play at all? Of course, him and the Rock DJ Robbie Williams are listed as questionable with health and safety protocol issues, so they may not play at all. Ty's got 28 minutes last game. If he pushes to 28 a game, he's a 12-team ad, but I just don't see that being consistent. While Peyton Pritchard, with guys healthy like Smart returning and then maybe Teague actually returning as well on Friday, how much is Pritchard going to play, and is that going to make him viable or only in the deeper formats? The Jazz and the Bucks, it's all about Bojan Bogdanovic here, who's been terrible. The shooting is just way off. I want to see how involved he is, how active he is. Is he grasping his wrist at all? Like, what's going on with that wrist? And then Mike Conley, who started out hot. Last 2 games have been rough. Let's just pay attention to him. For the Bucks, Bobby Portis. How much does he play next to Brook Lopez is probably one of the keys here. If he's going to be the primary backup 4 and the primary backup 5, then he can get 25 a night. Removing DJ Wilson and Thanasis Antetokounmpo out of the rotation. It is important to note that Pat Connaughton's been out of the rotation and Torrey Craig is out, and they can probably come and play some of those minutes at the 4, which might have an impact on Portis' long-term value. And then Dante DiVincenzo. Not great last game. I still believe in him as a 12-team must-roster player, and his numbers would back that up at this stage, but he's a guy that gets steals. How's his shooting look? How's his overall level of play going with the Bucks? Next up, it's the Magic and the Rockets, of course. One of the big things for the entire day that we'll focus on is Cole Anthony. New starting point guard for the Magic. How much will he play? Will Michael Carter-Williams cut into that if he is healthy? What about Evan Fournier? What does that mean for Anthony? His usage, his assist rates, his shooting numbers. We want to see him in a full game starting. Well, James Ennis, will he see his minutes ramp up? Will he take over from Dwayne Bacon? Will he eventually become that starting small forward? For the Rockets, does Christian Wood play? And if he does, how much does he play? And how much does he play alongside DeMarcus Cousins? Cousins started last game, but only played 23 or 24 minutes, even without any other center on the roster. So that's obviously curious. How much does Cousins play? How does a pairing of Wood and Cousins look together? And yeah, if Wood and Cousins don't play together and Cousins plays 14 minutes, then it's really hard to justify him as a 12-team league player. Next up, the Nets and the Grizzlies. Kyrie Irving didn't play on Thursday for personal reasons. There's rumors and whispers going around that he just took a personal day. I'm assuming associated with the events going on in the United States, but we don't know if he's going to play, and we assume Kevin Durant is going to be out. So we need to check on Kyrie's status. Jeff Green played pretty well on Thursday, I thought, so he's a name to watch, as is Taurean Prince, and of course Karis LeVert. If Kyrie and KD are both out, what can he do? For the Grizzlies, I really want to look at Desmond Bane again because he's looking awesome. He's better than Dillon Brooks. I've said this for years, not years, for days and weeks maybe. Maybe that's more accurate. He looks better than Grayson Allen and Dillon Brooks, and let's see how his role unfolds. While Kyle Anderson, a bit of a drop-off happening for Kyle at the moment. Bane, Melton, they're cutting into his playing time somehow, and the fact that they're starting Brandon Clark at the 4 hasn't helped Anderson's value, and with Jackson and Winslow returning at some point, it's probably going to be even more of a squeeze on Kyle Anderson. The Bulls and the Lakers, Garrett Temple is playing an absolute ton. It will probably continue in this game with no Archer-Jacquino and no Satoransky, but does he cut into Thad Young? Does he cut into Patrick Williams? Does he cut into Otto Porter at all? They're playing him an absolute ton. Otto Porter as well, he's been quite up and down over the last couple of games. How much is he going to play? And what's his production going to be like? It is a back-to-back for the Lakers, so will Anthony Davis play? He was questionable before Thursday, so let's see if we get any clarification there. I reckon there's a chance he doesn't play on Friday. That's just a guess. And then always we want to check on Montrezl Harrell. How is he looking in this Lakers team? Next up, the Raptors and the Kings. The wiki, Chris Boucher, Nick Nurse claimed that he needed to play him more with... the minutes that he got last time, he wasn't happy with the minutes he gave him, and Nick, you're the one who's making those decisions. But will they get Boucher more minutes in a matchup against probably Rashawn Holmes, who's dealing with some ankle problems, and then Pascal Siakam, who hit 50% shooting last game, which is a surprise to be sure.
A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Can he keep that trend going? Well, all eyes on the Kings are going to be on Tyrese Haliburton. Of course, they're going to be on Rashawn Holmes and they're going to be on De'Aaron Fox, who are both listed questionable for the action. But Haliburton's been awesome. He's a must-roster player in all 12-team leagues. Let's see what he can do, especially if they give him the nod as the starting point guard. Well, Marvin Bagley had a great game last time out for the Kings. Can he continue that? Will they start him at center if, in fact, we don't have Holmes? I would imagine that if Fox is out and Holmes is out, we will get Whiteside starting alongside Bagley, which, wow, what a front court that is. But I think that'll happen. Otherwise, if it's just Holmes out and Fox plays, I think you got Haliburton in there and Bagley shifting across to the 5. Next game, the Clippers and the Warriors. Does Marcus Morris remain on the bench? He claims that he wants to come off the bench because the starting line's been playing so well. I think that's really good from him if that's the case, because that starting lineup does make sense with Batum in there, and it helps his overall usage. While I also want to see Patrick Beverley, whose minutes have been pushing really high, 30 minutes in each of the last 2 games. Can he continue that run, and does that make him close to 12-team valuable? For the Warriors, James Wiseman's minutes have been poor. Yeah, not really exceeding 22 a night, under 20 in some games. Why is that? It's not always foul trouble. What's he looking like defensively? What's his shot selection looking like? He's shooting under 50% on 2s as well. While Kelly Oubre's minutes have been well down the last couple of games. His shooting obviously has been poor. I'm still holding. I'm still thinking he's a buy low, but those minutes are a real concern to me. Stream options for us. Gorgie Dieng, always a solid enough stream option there. Not the greatest upside player, but yeah, really solid stream value for a guy that's not rostered in many spots. Bruce Brown, who wasn't great on Thursday, but another option there. Daniel Tice, especially with Thompson and Williams potentially being out. He's a good stream. Thad Young's a guy that's available. There's no Lauri Markkanen, so he's going to get another pretty decent opportunity. While Patrick Beverley, as I said, minutes have been up the last couple of games for Pat, so he gets another chance at maybe seeing if he can push into that 12-team valuable type area. That'll do it for today's What to Watch For. I'll be back later on with a recap of Thursday's action, so don't miss that one. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, and give us a thumbs up down below, guys. I'll see you later.